Then, what's up, guys? Today is your student teacher, Francis Solo. We're going to be working a simple ABC. And so the problem is given here is x squared minus 10x plus 25. So one of the things here to do whenever you want to solve a simple ABC problem factoring, you have to know a multiplication table. Also, don't mind that, guys. You can learn that later. Okay, so we begin saying that since there's a problem, so the first step to multiply to do a simple ABC is to multiply. That's the first step. And some people, why are we multiplying? Why not just do numbers? So a variable standing by itself has a constant of 1. And this is a natural constant. So that's a constant, So what happens is that you take the number that is on the variable, multiply it with the constant. So it's going to be 1 times 25. We already know that 1 times any number is that number, so the answer is 25. But the next step here is to find a multiples that can actually multiply and get 25. When you pull those multiples back together, when you add them, it should give you the middle number here, which is negative 10. So that's the next step, is to get a multiples of factors. So you go down the line, starting from 1 times 25 is 25, but 1 times 25 cannot get for negative 10. We go down the line. This all matters multiplication table. So because I know my multiplication table, so what happened is that I know that 25 is going to be 5 and 5. 5 and 5. 5 times 5 is 25. We know that. It gives for 25, but with 5 and 5 give 10. Yes, but we're looking for a negative 10. How can we get that? So the process here is that you put a negative 5 and a negative 5. You times them, which actually negative times negative is going to be a positive, which is 25. Bam, that is right. And so the next thing we do is that we take the same negative 5 and put them together. It gives us the negative 10. That means it works. So the next thing you do is that you take those multiples, those negative 5s, and replace them with the negative 10. So to replace them here is that we put x squared minus 5. Don't forget, always bring the variable down with those numbers you replace, and you take in replacement for the 10. You put the x on it, and negative 5 also, and the x plus 25. So the next step here is to group them into a separate quantity. That's the next step, is grouping. So what happens is that you take one quantity here, which is x squared minus 5x, is a one quantity, and this one is also the next quantity. Then we good with that. So we get the quantities. Now what happens is that we see a problem. We have a negative here, we have a positive here. The rules to factoring, whatever sign that is on the 5 left should also be the same sign in the 5 right quantity. So to get this one is that we rewrite the problem x squared minus 5x closest. What you do is that there's an unseen one here. You distribute them to this parenthesis. So it's negative 1 times 5, which gives you negative 5x. Negative 1 times positive 25 is give you negative 25. We go there. So we take the same. We already know that that's a quantity. So we group them back. And the next step here is to take the GCF of those quantities. So it's taking the GCF. Also, taking the GCF is that we look at the first quantity, we see x, that means that's the GCF. So we take it out. The next step to do is to stack them. Where you take the other quantity, here x squared, and then in the x, which is the GCF, it's going to say 1 time x going to x squared, just x. That works, and we bring the sign down here. And the next step is to take the 5x and stack it with the x. So it's the 5x and the x. X going to say 1 times x into x is just the same. What we left here is 5, so we put the 5 here. That's a fourth quantity. Now we are done with the fourth quantity, and then we bring the sign down here. Always don't forget that this sign comes with it. And so what happens is that we look for the GCF within this next quantity and stacks them. So we see 5 here. What number can go into 5 even without rimming there is 5. Can that same 5 go into 25 years, of course? So we take the 5 off. The next thing we stack them with again, and we take this and say 5x over 5. 5 enters at 1. They cancel. We just left with x. What happens here is that we take we bring the sign down also in this place, and we stack it with 25. So 5 into it say 1 time. 5 into 25 just go 5 times. Then so that's it. We are done. So we got done. The next thing to do is to pair them. That's the next step. Pairing them is that taking one quantity of the same kind and then find another quantity. However, guys, I'm so sorry for my accent. I'm so sorry. But however, is to pair them. So we see the same quantity and we see the same quantity here. We are only allowed to take one of those quantities because they are the same. So you can use both of them. Just take one of them, okay? So x minus 5, just take one. Now it's gonna be like, is that our answer? No. We also have the GCF that we take out. That GCF can also be our next quantity. So this is it and this is it. So it's gonna be x, because this is negative 5, just bring it down. Then this is our answer, guys. So whenever you want to do a simple ABC factoring, follow those steps, guys. And don't forget the rules is that when you see a positive on the side, always know that sign should change, because whatever sign that here should be the same sign here. So just to recapture here is that to simple ABC, whenever you want to factor it, is to begin with multiplication. The next thing is to find the multiples, and then you replace them with the middle number, and then the next thing you group them. When you group them, you take the GCF of them, and then you stack them with the GCF, and then you pair. Thank you, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and also comment and give it a fat thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Let me know what other math you guys want to know. Thank you.